Stop. Before we get into the video, I just want to make a quick shout out to one of our good friends over at KatDIY for providing us this shirt. Head over to Etsy.com and search KatDIYs to shop around all the good tie-dye goodness. Shirts are only $18 and they are selling out fast. These are all upcycled and handmade products. Go get yours now at Etsy.com. Hello and welcome to part 2 of the You're Playing Apex Wrong series, where the videos are way too long. So I'm going to have to put timestamps all over this joint. Part 2 of this series will be focusing more on fight mechanics that too many legends ignore. Timestamps again will be provided in the description below. Take note, homies. We'll be going over these listed topics. Reload animation canceling, KPM, or keystrokes per minute. Lessening your fight load, weapon-specific mechanics in Apex Legends, such as the Bocek bow, Sentinel, charge rifle, Hemlock, and as promised, the Kraber. No-scope aiming mechanics, poking versus inting, strafe practice, proper use of melee in regards to taking height, proper holster and equip mechanics, additional nade mechanics in situations supplemental to Noko's nade guide, healing, heal canceling, and canceling Wraith Q and other channeling ults and abilities, how to shoot fast with semi-auto guns, especially the Mastiff, maximizing DPS when poking, late game inventory, and finally, sprint fire delay. Reload animation canceling exists in Apex Legends, most notably on your assault rifles. Simply shoot, reload, wait until the number of mags pops up on your HUD, and then holster, re-equip. Do be careful, as emptying your mags extends the reload animation, so the timing in dequipping and equipping times will vary according to your arsenal. Reloading an empty mag will always take longer than that with a mag that has remaining bullets. Reload animation canceling does not work as well with SMGs and shotguns, other than the Mozambique. Keystrokes per minute is exactly what it sounds like. How many buttons can you press while you game? Oh, the old popular games like StarCraft has been lost to us, but do not fret. I'm only pointing this out because a high KPM is exactly what you're trying to avoid. It's worth noting that the less load you process in your brain will result in you making better decisions, especially during a firefight where every millisecond counts. When you are in a slide and a jumping state, I want you to be aware that your momentum carries over. That's what this game is known for, momentum carrying over. So what does that mean? You can decrease the load of your brain and just don't touch anything on your keyboard. What do you do then? Hold crouch and focus on your aim until it's time to move again. Also, note you can reload with your primary fire button when your mag is empty, so you can keep your fingers on the WASD to reload on an empty mag. This may seem dumb, but there's a million things going on, and the less your body has to think, the more it'll translate to your overall game performance. Weapon-specific mechanics. Let's talk real quick about the bow. Here's normal bow strafing, and here's the way of the agile sniper. Slide, draw, jump, shoot. Here's a Bocek hip fire in range. Here's how to maximize your snipers. These bad boys have a specific mechanic in game where if you descope before shooting, your accuracy is still at 100%. This means you can strafe away at max speed for maximum phantom pokage. You can hit jumpers as well. Here's poking with a charge rifle at close range. This is the Hemlock hipfire. This is how you should shoot with the Hemlock at close range. It also works with the Scout. Some things about the Kraber. If you hold on to left click when you shoot the sniper, the ammo will not rechamber on your gun. If you fire and immediately reload, you will have to cock back your sniper after the reloading. Inversely, and the proper way would be to shoot, let the gun cock back, and then reload. Here's some Kraber trick shots. Proof that my no-scoping method works. To hit these shots, release all game inputs when you jump. As soon as you have the shot lined up, tap movement in the direction your character is going, and at the same time, scope in and fire within a hair's breadth of one another. I found that this sequence of inputs bypasses the natural state of inaccuracy while in mid-air. It tricks the game into narrowing your first shot accuracy while in motion. An additional observation: your shotgun mid-air accuracy is also affected by this mechanic. Do take a look at these clips and judge for yourself. Poking is a maneuver a player does to deal the most damage, whilst taking the least amount of trade-off damage. When you're poking, make sure you have made up your mind where to aim and set your mind to shooting immediately as you see an enemy, and then ducking out. Make your peaks erratic and unconventional. To be erratic, you can vary your reloads to throw off your enemy. Focus the enemy farthest away from cover while you yourself pose little LOS to your target. LOS meaning line of sight. It's a game of hide and seek where your goal is to be hidden, not the seeking. Always top off your mag if the enemy's not looking. Empty it out once you've done sufficient damage to finish from mid-range. Varying spray from range will be indefinitely easier than doing it at close range. This is called zoning. This is the job of you as an anchor. Zoning to let your entry fraggers finish your pokes. Call out your reloads and how much damage you've done, and make sure your fraggers are focused on the isolated or low health targets. Be ready to pounce at a second's notice. This is yet another reason to have your mags topped off, and greatly shortens the downtime you could be potentially beaming the opposition. Add your reload animation cancel to your mid-range AR poke to decrease the downtime even more, or add variance to your pokes. This is also the perfect time to practice minimizing line of sight. Do not wide peek at mid-range or long range unless you're chasing or your team is full committing with comms. Minimizing your errors on mid-range fights will greatly ensure chances of your team out-damaging the opposition. Close range fighting are called 50-50 for a reason, and out of any engagements, the flow of battle is very malleable at the mid-range. Out of any of the tips today, this will be the greatest asset to reaching your peak levels at rank faster. Note, this is the area of Apex Legends that the majority of the player base is lacking or is not aware of. So get a head start on your training now. Make sure to vary game modes between arenas and BR, because fight situations and environments are game mode specific. So don't be too comfortable in one game mode and assume all situations are transferable. to add, effective practice is during minimal or controlled levels of stress. So, if you want to improve, this, in my opinion, is your best routine or habit to get used to in order to step foot into the top levels of team fighting. If there is any tip more important in this segment, if you are to remember one thing I say in this video, my friend, this is it. This is info. Punching someone that's jumping at close range will fling them afar, so do this often when you're battling for height or in a gib bubble if you see them jumping. Just note your separate melee speeds depending on the shooting animation of your loadout. While we're in the topic of melees, note that your shotgun melee window is affected by the shotgun bolt. The better the bolt, the sooner your shooting animation ends and your melee animation starts. The fastest base melee shooting animation, ironically, is the PK, despite its now clunky nature. Add a purple bolt and you can melee even faster. Your second fastest would be the Mozambique and the slowest being the Mastiff. So the video is getting too long now, so I've decided to separate it into 2 chapters. Here's a sneak preview of the topics we didn't get to peruse. We will explore more about creative grenades, such as especially its interactions with Gibby's bubble, strafing practice, late game inventory slots that will absolutely blow your mind, canceling any channeling ability, including the intro video that is Bloodhound Scan if you want to look at it again, maximizing any gun's fire rate, most crucially after a reload, a small holster, and optimizing traversing map guide, and finally the sprint fire delay. That's it for today's video. If you liked what you see, make sure to give a homie a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow on all the socials. If you have something you want to talk about or want me to take a look at, do drop your comments in the section below or at me at Twitter on Neebs. Remember to stay healthy, and remember, I learn, I teach, I repeat. Neebs out!
$8 million and I can't go back. Got a lot of jewelry on me, man, you can't hold that. 12 asking better, tell him that I ain't so crack. Know your money.